Okay, good morning. This is Ms. Overvold. I'm going to show you how to log into textivate. So for your username, everyone's going to have the same username, and that's Portland PLC 2, all lowercase letters. Okay, for your student password, you'll leave the teacher password blank and you'll come down here to student password. You're going to want to enter in the password that I gave you during class. Hopefully, you wrote it in your notebook. If you didn't, you can go back into Canvas, check the slides for the day, probably October 7 or 8 in Module 4. And in those slides for the day, there's a slide for each class with every student name and password. So you can be sure to write it down there in your notebook once you've got it. Okay, then I'll click Submit Login Data. You might want to save your personal password on your computer if it prompts you to do that. I recommend it. Could make it a lot easier. And then once you're in, you'll click this magnifying glass. Okay. So again, if you didn't see that, this is next to it's in the upper right hand corner next to the little art palette. You can play around with this. This will change the background color, which is kind of fun. Um, I personally like this and I like green. So click the magnifying glass, then click My Resources. Okay. And you'll see I'm in period 6 right now. So if you're in a different class, you'll see something that says sequence and then the title of your character and then link and go. So click go. Okay. And it'll tell you who you're logged in as and your period. Okay. So I know I'm the test student and I'm in period 6 right now. So I think that's okay. And then it'll take you to a series of exercises and you'll work your way through those. They're sequenced in a particular order. So, for example, for this first one, it's fill in the blank. I'm going to, based on the story, you click and drag. So, Bob es un color azul. Oops. Bob está muy triste, etc. Oh boy, there we go. It takes a little bit of getting used to dragging, at least for me. So you can see at the bottom of the screen here, we're on activity 1 of 4. You can always restart it, and you can restart the entire sequence if you want to work through it again. So these are all different options you have. I can use the check button to see how I'm doing. If I'm not sure, you can press that at any time to see your progress. With a lot of these exercises, it will require you to get 80% or better. So you may have to do it over again if you don't have a passing score. Okay, so that's how you're going to log in. You'll work your way through the sequences. There will be 4 or 5 your first way through. When you're done, you can either X out or you could choose to log out. Either are fine. So